Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about a new sutta of Udāna Pāļi. This sutta is called Upasaka Sutta. It is a very short sutta and a few grammatical points to be explained. So not very long. Upasaka Sutta. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, Bhante.
Hello. Okay, right. Because last time I was at Colombo, so that's why the last class we could do it smoothly. International connection was good there. So this Upasaka Sutta, it tells about some Upasaka, one devotee visiting Buddha after a long time. So knowing that he was busy, Buddha uttered a verse saying that not having much work is a bliss. So this short sutta explains this. So if anyone is volunteered to translate this short sutta.
Yes, Bhante, I would like to try.
Okay, so Sister Charanapali, right?
Bhagava Savatiyam. One time, the Blessed One was staying in Savatthi, in Jetavana at the monastery of Anathapindika. Tenakopanna Samayena.
Near Savatthi.
Yes, sorry, yes, near Savatthi. So in Jetavana at Anathapindika's monastery near Savatthi. Tenakopana Samayena Anyataro Ichana Galako Upasako Savattim Anupato Hoti Kenati Dewa Karaniyena. Then at that time, a certain lay disciple who was born in Gala reached Savatthi for some kind of duty or business. Attako so upasako Savatiyam tam karaniyam tiretva yena bhagava tenupasankami. Then that lay disciple, having finished that duty in Savatthi, approached the Buddha. Upasankamitva bhagavantam avivadetva ekamantam nisidi. Having approached the Blessed One, and having paid respect, he sat to one side. Ekamantam nisinam ko tam upasakam bhagava etada vacha. Having sat to one side, the Blessed One said this to that lay disciple. Chirasam ko tuam upasaka imam pariyayam akasi yadidam ida gamanayati. For a very long time, you lay disciple have not according to the words, it says that have repeat this course that is coming here. But according to the notes of Bhante, it says you have come after a long time in meaning.
Okay, can you translate the next paragraph also? It's short.
Yes. Ira patikaham Bhante Bhagavantam dasanaya upasankami tu kamo. Bhante, Venerable, for a long time I wished to approach to see the Blessed One. Api chaham kechi kechi kicha karahi yawato. But I have been active, or I have been busy with a lot of duties, things that I should do. Therefore, okay. Evam nasa kim bhagavantam dasanaya upasankamitum tunti. Therefore, I was not able to approach to see the Blessed One. Atako bhagawa etamatam viditva tayam velayam imam udanam udanesi. Then the Blessed One, having known that the meaning, at that time, he said, he uttered this utterance.
Thank you, Sister Melina. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Bhante.
Yeah, please excuse me. Can you give me 1 minute? Just little bit. Just 1 minute. I'll a little bit. Something happened. Sorry. Sorry. Hello.
Yes, Bhante.
Yes. Yeah.
I have one kind of comment for the translation.
Yeah. Sure, please.
Yes. So I believe for the sentence, Ekamantang nisenang potang upasakang bakawa davoja.
Yeah.
I believe the sister translated as having said on one side, the Blessed One said this. I don't think that's correct.
Oh,
translation.
no.
Right.
It should be.
So it's basically say
The
that
Blessed One said this to the. Yeah.
To the male devotee who was sitting on one side.
Yes. Thank you for showing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
It should be the Blessed One said this to the male devotee who sat at one side.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you, Dr. Ryan.
Yeah, thank you for showing it. I also missed it. The Blessed One said this to the devotee who sat on one side, at one side. Yes. Thank you. So this, yeah, you translated well. So it's very easy. It's not, there's not much grammatical things to explain, but we'll go through it. Eka samayam bhagava Savathyang vihrati chetavani anathapindika sarami. I think everyone can understand. Tena kopana samayena. Yeah. Anyataro icha nangalaka upasako savathyang anupattam hoti kenachi deva karaniyena. So the verb is anupatto. This is the verb. So he approached Savatti. The object of Anupatto is Savatti. Anupatto hoti, because Anupatto, even though it functions as a verb, it's a noun actually. So that's why sometimes you had to put the word hoti. Sometimes it may come, sometimes it may not come, appear. So subject of this sentence is Icha Nangalaka Upasako. Icha Nangala is a village, and this Upasaka was born there. Or the commentary says maybe because he was living there. They're not very sure about it. So then he has approached due to work. So when you approach something due to some work, due to when you approach someone or some place due to one work or due to some reason, that work should be written in instrumental case. Normally that's how we use it. So that's how normally the instrumental case use. It's also one kind of a usage of the instrumental case. Then atakoso upasako, then that upasaka savatting tang karaniyan tiretva, savatya. Tiretva here means having finished. Sometimes the word tirana, tireti comes for deciding also. So here tiretva means having finished. Having finished that work in Savatti, approached the Buddha, Yena Bhagava Tenupa Sankami. I think everyone can understand this term, Yena Bhagava Tenupa Sankami. He approached the Buddha, having finished the work, that work, due to which he came. Upasankamitva Bhagavantang Abhivaditva Ekamantan Nisidi. So this is also a simple sentence. Having approached, he paid respect to the Buddha, Bhagavantang Abhivaditva Ekamantan Nisidi. So we have two verbal words here, verb and the gerund. So ekamantang is a adverb, or we can say it's a locative case, accusative used in the locative meaning, because we know location can be written in locative case, it can be written in accusative case, it can be written in instrumental case. So this is a accusative case used in the locative at one side. He sat on one side. Then abhivaditva, having paid respect. The object of abhivaditva is Bhagavanta. Right, have Bhagavanta. Then upasankamitva is also a gerund. It's starting, the previous sentence ends with the upasankami, and here it starts with its gerund. Whom did he approach? That blessed one. The subject of this second sentence is also the upasaka, which was the subject of the previous sentence. So we don't write it, we don't repeat it. And also the object of upasankamitva is the object of upasankami. So same. So therefore, since it's the same verb, verbal meaning, so we don't write the object of upasankamitva here. Bhagavantang upasankamitva, Bhagavantang avivaditva. Object of upasankamitva is not necessary to write here because it's clear from the previous sentence. Then ekamantan nisinnang ko tang upasakam bhagava etadavocha. So this is the, as Dr. Ryan mentioned, here the subject is bhagava. Object is upasaka. Bhagava etadavocha. Said this to the upasaka. So explanation of this upasaka, what kind of upasaka? Its adjectival clause is ekamantan nisinnang tang upasaka. Ko has no specific, we can omit it. And tang upasaka. So these all three are connected to the upasaka, showing this is how to say explanation about the upasaka. Who is this upasaka? The one who sat at one side, according to the previous sentence. Bhagava etadavocha. Blessed one said this to him. Blessed one said this to him. And also we can know now Yeah, this blessed one said this to him. Then Chirasanko Vata Upasaka, what did he say was Chirasanko Vata Upasaka Imam Pariyaya Makasi Yadidang Idagamanaya. Yadidang Idagamanaya. I think this is translated it very well. It's a complicated clause. So it's one way of saying. So if you go to our lecture vocabulary, which I have shared last time. So according to the vocabulary, we can see this is how we make the Chirasang. I hope everyone can see this. Chirasang Vatako Twang Upasaka Imam Pariyaya Makasi Yadidang Idagamanaya. So this Pariyaya Makasi has to be divided as Pariyayang plus Akasi. Right, Pariyaya Akasi. So Pariyaya is, yeah, it's written here actually. It's written here, Pariyaya Akasi. You repeated this course. Pariyaya is a course. Varang. The commentary says Varang. Imam, you repeated this course. Akasi means you did. So Pariyaya Akasi means you repeated the course. This course after long time. Chirasang. After you did it after long time. So it's a adverb, Chirasang. That is to say, Yadidang is that is to say. So what you repeated this course after a long time, what kind of a course? That was coming here. Ida Agamanaya, right? Coming here. So normally, even though we, in English, if we say coming here, coming should be Agamana. Agamanaya is purpose, dative purpose. So that's why I put it in the brackets for coming here. Like for coming to see me or coming to see the Buddha. So since in English, if we translated it as it is, it's very odd and it's not correct grammatically. So, but we have to understand this is the dative of purpose. Ida is here. So this is a one way of saying that when someone has come after a long time, Chirasang Watatwang, Imam, if he Upasaka is addressing the person, if he talk to a friend, Chirasang Watatwang, summer or friend, Chirasang Watatam Mitta, Imam Pariyaya Makasi, Yadidang Idagamanaya. So if you see one after a long time, we normally say long time no see. So this is how you say it in Pāļi. So in translation, so Chirapati, so it should be translated. This is the way of saying you came after long time. Right? This is a way of saying. So if I analyze this sentence, Chirasang is an adverb. Vata is indeed. Right? It's normally it has a meaning of indeed, something that we yeah, it gives the meaning indeed. Then Twang is you. This is the subject. Upasaka is the how to say the vocative case addressing the Upasaka, the late Purvati. Imang Pariyayang Akasi. So this is the verb of the Twang, second person, singular, past tense. Pariyayang is the object of Akasi. Pariyayang is the object of Akasi. Imang is also referring to the Pariyayang, discourse. So you discourse after a long time. So I haven't put the Vata here actually. So then Yadidang Idagamanaya. Sentence pattern. Now we can see. So Yadidang explains yo Pariyayang Akasi. So normally then Yadidang explains what was the cause you did. What is the Pariyayang you did. That's why I say that is to say. You repeated this course after long time. That is to say, come in here. The cause is coming here, coming to meet the Buddha. So therefore, Pariyayo is nominative. So it should be Pariyayo. So the commentary states that it should be the commentary says that it's not should. Normally Yadidang is written as a indeclinable. So, but when you explain it in a commentarial way, they would say it, it says, Yadidang says, yo aya. This is how they say, yo aya. Because pariyayo is a nominative case word, masculine gender. No, it's accusative written in the previous sentence. It's masculine. So when you want to say what is that cause, yo ayang ida gamanai. So that is, this is should be written in masculine gender now. But yadidang has become an indeclinable later in Pāļi. So the commentary says, yadidang is a nipata. The meaning is yo ayang. So its meaning is yo ayang. Because why they give it as yo ayang? Because pariyaya is a masculine gender now. This is a one kind of a phrase that we use. If you have any questions regarding this.
Hello, Bhante. Bhante, can you hear me?
Yes, Sally. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can
When
hear
you
you.
talk, when you talk about the yadidang, so in the commentary they say libado, yo ayang di ato.
Yeah.
So, but yo is the relative pronoun and the ayang is the demonstrative pronoun.
Yeah.
So how can be a nibada?
Nipata means yadidang has become a nipata now. Why is that? For example, if this was the pariya, instead of pariyaya, if we had a feminine gender noun, this will be ya ayang. If it was a neuter gender noun, tang imang. So what they are saying is, this yadidang is actually referring to the word that we are going to explain. So pariyayang idagamanaya yadidang. So this yadidang should be written according to the gender of the noun explained. This is the explanation. Idagamana is the explanation. Like if I write it sangwanita, explanation. So this is the explained. Explain now. This shows this yadidang. Yadidang is the word that shows that you are going to explain it. So therefore, this explain noun, the gender of the explain noun governs the nature of yadidang. So if it was a feminine noun, we become it ya ayang. If it was a neuter noun, yang imang. But what happened is now yadidang has become frozen, right? Yang imang or yang idang, right? Both is possible. Right? Yang idang. If it is neuter gender, if it is, I'll repeat again. If it is masculine, yo ayang. If it is feminine, ya ayang. If it was neuter, yang idang or yang imang, both are possible. Neuter gender, masculine. So idang is more common. Yang idang. So that yang idang of the neuter gender now, you can see yadidang is yang idang. Sorry, yadidang is yadi idang, it has become, right? Yadi idang. So this yang idang has become, sorry, it should yang idang, yad in Sanskrit. I am correct, right? I think so. This is how it's made. So this is the neuter gender form. If it was a neuter gender noun, which is explained, that is how it comes. So, but now what has happened, it has come to, we are using it for all the three genders. So that is why we explain it as an indeclinable. Indeclinable means it doesn't change according to the gender, according to the number, and so forth. It is not declined. Right? No, now. But That is a frozen indeclinable. Explained now. We have to change it as yo ayang, ya ayang, and yang ida. That's what I was meaning.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Bhante?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, Bhante, but what is the meaning of yo ayang, Bhante? Like literally.
Yo refers to the, it is uncertain way, what, and ayang is, it's demonstrative. So this is relative and demonstrative. So it's like if you analyze this chirasamata imam pariyaya makasi, you did this course after a long time, which is to say, yo is sort of which, right? Which, then this shows that. So it's like, it should be like the, how to put it in English, like.
So the yo
This
is
shows that
referring
which that you did. Yeah, yo is, both are referring to the same thing actually. Yo and ayang are both are referring to the pariyaya.
Oh, okay, Bhante. Okay.
Yeah, both are in pariyaya.
And then Bhante, like is the pariyayang in accusative case, Bhante?
Yeah, here is accusative case. Akasi. Is the object of akasi. But its
so
gender
why
is
it's
masculine.
Masculine. So why you
Sorry?
said that there is nominative, Bhante? Then the yo is
because this is
feminine.
a relative clause. So it's not necessary that when you come to the relative clause, it's not necessary that you keep this in the same case, because relative case called, now if you want to explain about something, it's not necessary that the relative noun and the demonstrative noun should be in the same case. So even though pariyayang here, which is to be explained, is written in accusative, you can still use the relative one in any case. So it's not necessarily that both have to be in the same, but they have to be in the same. Normally, they have to be in the same gender and same number. This can also change in certain occasions, but normally the case ending is not necessarily to be the same of the
Okay,
relative
Bhante.
clause. Yeah.
Okay,
So there should be an explanation like that. Yo pariyayo ayang, something like that. I'll ask with my friend and give you the explanation on this, how to extend its sentence grammatically. But
Okay,
this
Bhante.
is like, sometimes it's quite difficult. It's like this, keep this as a one kind of a usage in Pali. It's grammarians would somehow explain it grammatically, but this is a one kind of a usage. I'll go through this and find out how to explain it in detail, how to extend this grammatically.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you so much,
I'll
Bhante.
let you know next week. Sorry.
Hi, Bhante. Hello. Yes, I also have a question about this. So you said
Hello,
that,
I can hear you.
yeah. So yo and ayang, you said that both of them refer to pariyayang.
Yeah.
Right, Bhante? So, but then
Yes.
if we translated the yadidang to be, that means to say, so it looks like it refers to the ida gamana. So this kind of strange, because so in the PTS dictionary, they define this phrase as to arrange.
To arrange.
Yeah, so take it literally, departure. So go in out of one's way to change a habit. So which means it looks like he's changing a habit so that he can come to see the Blessed One. That's how they explain it.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah.
What do you mean by habit then? I didn't get it. Like,
Yeah. So what they mean is that he's not coming here because he's very busy with his business. So now he changed that habit so that he can come. So the pariyaya is that the arrangement, the management, he managed to change that so that he can come.
Okay.
So yeah, so here because so Bhante, because here you translated as repeated this course, so it doesn't have that meaning. So they said that they have to change it, to change that course so that he can come.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not sure about this. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll write the commentary explanation on the notes.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Okay. Thank you.
The mama santike agamanaya yo ajja varo kato varo tang imang papan katva akasi. Right. I'm also now analyzing. I also didn't think about this very deeply, so we'll try to analyze this. Ida mama santike agamana yo ajja kato varo. So the commentary previously explains that pariyayang pariyayanti varo. This is the commentary explanation. Then yadidan
Bhante, is a warang ba?
Sorry?
Warang.
Varang, yes, sorry. Varang yadidanti nipato yo ayanti atto. So ayanti is ayang ti, right? Yadidang iti. Right? Pariyayanti is also pariyayang iti. And this is the explanation. So vara refers to pariyaya. So ida mama santike agamanaya. Ida is here. Mama santike, close to me. Agamanaya, to come to. Mama santike agamanaya, for coming. This is the purpose of dative of purpose. For coming near me. Yo varo ajja kato. So today, ajja is today, kato was done. Varo, kato varo. The vara is repeating thing, right? It can be a habit, yeah, something we can call, or it can be a course then repeats. So if I take the course you did today, which you did today, to come near me. Tang, that one. Tang imang, that course. Chirena papanchang katwa akasi. You did it katwa akasi. You did it papanchang katwa. Papanchang is making it late, very late. Papancheti. So chirena means after a long time. So you did it the course or the thing you did of coming here, you did it after a long time. So that's how I feel it. So what is your comments on this?
But the varo also have the meaning of the opportunity, right? The chance, occasion.
So what are the meanings of varo? Can you read? Yeah.
Occasion, opportunity.
Opportunity.
Time.
Huh?
Time.
Time. Then.
A turn.
Right. according to PTS, what is the meaning? Does Varo has a meaning, Dr. Ryan, according to PTS?
Turn.
Turn. Not time, right? Turn.
No, we have time. We also have turn.
Okay, time and turn, right. So this is what I think this is what I took it as course, like, so you took this turn. We can say it like that. It's better, I think, like, you took this turn of coming here, me, the turn you took today, the turn which you took today, did today, to come near me, was done after a long time. Is it be okay if we translate like that?
Yes. It's clear, but I just that I have that it's not so clear the way they explain it in the PTS, just like I read earlier. Okay? So they in fact explain this, the pariyayang karoti. So that's how they explain it.
Okay.
To arrange, and then take it
Good.
literally, this departure. Yes. So it means going out of his way or to change a habit, which means he makes occasion for coming.
Okay, right. I mean,
Yes.
he was quite busy, so he changed his way of life,
so
and
he changed his habit. Yes. That's what they explain it.
That also makes sense because he was very busy according to the explanation, and he took a turn to come out of it and see the Buddha.
Right.
Yeah, they don't give it without any reason. Maybe they have a reason for that. Thank you for that. We'll keep it in mind. Okay. I'll also do some research on it.
Okay,
thank you very much. So I think it's then saying it as the cause, it's better to say turn, right? You took this turn. Is it okay? You took this turn, if we say. How about English grammar? What do you prefer? Took this turn or repeated this course? Which one would be better?
Yeah, I think you took this turn or you manage this turn. It's okay.
How to manage this turn? Manage this turn after a long time. Right. Okay. So we'll instead of saying it's cause, which better we can translate it as a term. You find the explanation of this phrase, which is a little bit difficult to explain grammatically. The simple translation would be, you came after a long time. Then the answer of the Upasaka was, Chirapatikaham Bhante Bhagavantam Dasana Upasankamitu Kamo. So if you analyze this sentence, it's also a little bit complicated one. The subject will be Chira Patiko Aham. This is how commentary explains. Chira Patiko Aham. So Chira Patiko Aham Upasankamitu Kamo. Right? Ahosing. So if you want to put a verb here, so past tense, we normally put the past tense. So Chirapatiko Ahang Bhagavantang Dasana Upasankamitu Kamo Ahosing. Since long time, I was desirous So object of this dasana, because dasana, the root of dasana, this, to see, the object of this of Bhagavanta, to see the Blessed One. What was his purpose? Aya is connected to Upasankamitu Kamo. So even this Upasankamitu, we have to divide Upasankamitung Kamo. This is how the samasa goes. This is a Chatuthi Tatpurusha samasa. So in this sentence, now we can, if we analyze this, the syntaxes of this, if we analyze this, we give a different color for this. Upasankamitu kamo. So upasankamitung, to approach. Upasankamitu. Dasanaya upasankamitu. So what was his purpose? So his object of seeing was Bhagavantang. So his purpose was dasanaya, to see. So then to see the Buddha, right? His purpose was to see the Buddha. So then he was desirous to see the Buddha, and with the desire, he was desirous to approach, right? He was desirous to approach. So he was desirous to approach the Buddha. For what purpose? To see the Buddha, to see the Buddha. So object of this is Bhagavantang. So his purpose was to see, and he was desirous to approach him for the purpose of seeing. So these both dasanaya and upasankamitung both explains about the desire. So he was desirous to approach the Buddha, to see the Buddha. This is how we get the meaning. So then apicha ahang. So here chirapatiko ahang. So chirapatika should be translated. I think I made a mistake in the vocabulary. It's like should be chirapatiko ahang. The entire sentence, if we translate, I was desirous to approach the Buddha since long time. Chirapatiko ahang. Since long time, I was desirous to approach the Buddha. Apicha ahang should be translated apicha ahang. So apicha says that but however, I was kehichi kiccha karaniyehi vyavatu. I was busy, I was involved. I was involved in, or I was some kehichi kiccha and karaniya have same meaning, the work. So normally the works that should be done, the commentary says that kiccha and karaniya has few meanings. Now, how to explain this? So they say sometimes kiccha are the avasankatabba. So that must be done. Things out to be done. Is kiccha. Then karaniya, the remaining work out to be done. So then another explanation is kiccha is equal to things, work that should be done first, then karaniya is the work that should be done later. After the kiccha. Another way of explaining kiccha is, they say, little work, like the things that are not very heavy, not very difficult. Then karaniya, mahanta, huge work. Huge work means difficult ones, or the things that were not easy, something like that. So this is how the commentary explains about these two terms to be done, right? So they have various meanings of kiccha and karaniya. So I was busy, vyavato, right? Vyavato, ahosing, I was busy. So these are acting as a verb. These are past participle. Apicha ahang is the subject. Ahang vyavato. I was busy, I was involved. I was busy due to various words, kiccha and karaniya. Kehichi, it repeats. That shows that many, like. So the commentary gives two meanings of this. Ekacce, ekacce. Another meaning is yehi, yehi tehi. Yehi va, tehi va. These and that. So other work with various works, and also these and those work, right? So what the idea is, he was very busy. That's what he was want to say. Apichaham kehichi kiccha karaniyehi byavato. I was busy with these and those, these work. Eva aham, evang aham, thus I was na sakking, na asakking. Sakki, sakoti is able to do. So here na sakki means na plus asakki. Asakking is a first person singular. So this a is not a negation. It's the past tense a. It has no meaning. Na asakkin, na sakki. Bhagavantan dasanaya prasankamitu. Thus I was unable. Na sakking means I was unable. Na asakking is I was unable to come to see the Buddha. So that is how this paragraph is explained grammatically. It was not an easy paragraph. So if you have any questions regarding this.
Bhante?
Yes.
May I ask about the action noun, Bhante, like dasanaya,
Yes.
Bhante?
About which one?
Action noun, Bhante, like in this dasanaya.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
Is it okay if we maybe sometimes we translate it as just normal verb, Bhante? Can it be translated like that, Bhante?
Like for example?
For example, in our language, Indonesian, like for dasanaya, we don't have I think we don't have very similar word. So it will be appropriate to translate it just see, for example.
You mean to see, right?
Yes, to see.
Yeah, that's how we translate.
For example, I see the blessed one, like that.
I see the blessed one.
I mean, just
I'm not
normal.
sure about how the it depends
just
on your language, right? It depends on your language. If you can give the meaning that he had the intention to see, then it's okay. If that is how in Indonesian language the idea is conveyed, it will be no problem.
Oh, so it's no problem, but if it's just translated maybe more close to the normal
it
verb.
Depends on it depends. Yeah, it depends on the context of your language. But I think in English you cannot say that see the Buddha, because you have to say to see the Buddha. But if in Indonesian language you get the meaning by using that verb, if you get such a meaning, then it will be okay.
Okay, Bhante.
Only thing is you have to give the meaning to see. So in Indonesian language, just by using a verb, if you still can get that meaning, it will be okay.
Oh, okay, Bhante. So can we say that the important thing is that we have to convey the meaning of the root,
That's
Bhante?
the most important. Yeah, because different languages have different ways of construction. So,
okay, Bhante.
Yeah. Always go to the essence. So then I hope you got the idea. Then we go to the next paragraph. Atako et Bhagava etamattang viditva thayang velayang imang udanang udanesi. So what happened was busy, right? Obligations we have to do, because taking care of the families and so forth. Since we are attached to our beloved ones, we have to do lots of work for them. So therefore, because of these defilements that we have, that considering this is mine, this is my family and so forth, we become very busy. So when we are busy, we lose the opportunity to do the wholesome deeds. So that was his idea. Because this person was a pious devotee who used to meet the Buddha regularly. But because of his busyness, he was unable to meet him this time. So Buddha, considering this, that due to being busy, people are unable to perform their work, wholesome deeds as usual, with lots of energy. So, and then if you have, we don't have such obligations as we have with the defiled mind. Like there are bound to that, like the people who have strong attachment. So knowing this, that the difficulty or inability to do kusala with being busy with the defiled mind, and absence of such difficulty of a person who doesn't have defilements and who doesn't become busy with the defiled mind. So he uttered this verse. So this is the idea he used to convey. The commentary here explains Taraya. So it says about Antaraya for this. So this we can find out. I'll give you a reference for this more elaboration on this matter. So Antaraya, there are various types of Antaraya. That some Antaraya are like, you cannot, like if someone has killed his parents and so forth, they are unable to cure it, right? So there are 5 types of Antaraya like that, like having a very strong wrong view and so forth. There are another 2 types of Antaraya, even to a person who has, who is capable of attaining. There are 2 types of Antaraya that would prevent someone from attaining Nibbana. So first one is Kiriya Parihaniya. This you can find in the Majjhima Nikaya, Karandaka, Majjhima Nikaya book 2, Karandaka Sutta, the first sutta, Karandaka Sutta, number one sutta, and you can see paragraph number 6, and its commentary, right? Its commentary, sub-commentary also. You can see it. Kicca Parihani is like the absence, like you are not doing enough work for that. Then the next is Papamittata, associating evil friends. Due to Parihaniya, due to not accomplishing the work and completing the work, Papamittataya is due to associating bad friends. So this, the Papamittataya, what happened was due to associating bad friend. Example given is King Ajatasattu. King Ajatasattu. So because of his bad association with Devadatta, he killed his father and lost the opportunity to become a Sotapanna when the Samanya Phala Sutta was uttered. That Kicca Parihaniya is again twofold. One is Desakassa. Desakassa means due to the inability of the preacher. So the commentary says this will not happen when the Buddha is present. There will be no, Buddha will always check our inside qualities like the inherent defilements, the past abilities, capacities and preached the doctrine teachings accordingly. But you know that it happened to Dhananjani when Sariputta preached Dhamma to the Brahmin Dhananjani. He just preached him till attaining the jhanas, not for the Sotapannahood. He thought it would not be necessary. He won't be able to attain it, or maybe he had some other idea, so he didn't preach him the Four Noble Truths. So when he approached the Buddha, then the Buddha said to Sariputta, while Dhananjani had some other work to do, like to attain the Sotapannahood, not just the jhana, Sariputta stopped the Dhammadesana and came back. So listening to this, Sariputta with his psychic powers immediately went to the Brahma world and preached Dhamma and made him a noble being. And it says, since that advice, Sariputta, whatever discourse is given, Sariputta always explains the Four Noble Truths, at least at the end. So he took it as an advice. So Desakasa means because the Savakas doesn't have the ability like a Buddha. So maybe even a Savaka and Arahant preaches Dhamma, it may not suit to our temperament. So therefore, the example is the Sariputta preaching to Dhananjani. Then the Savakasa. Savakasa Kicca Parihaniya means, so according to Karandaka Sutta, right? Karandaka Sutta, there were two disciples, like a Pessa, a disciple of the Buddha, came to meet him with another wandering ascetic called Karandaka. So a newcomer, like he came to meet the Buddha. So during that discussion, the Buddha gave a short discourse, and then Pessa told, I'm quite busy, so I have to leave, and he left. Even the short discourse was helpful to his meditation. Then after he left, the Buddha said, had Pessa asked the question that the Dhamma talk he gave in brief, if he had asked me to elaborate it with more detail, he would have get more higher attainment. This commentary says Buddha was referring to the Sotapannahood. So even he was listening to the Buddha, but he was involved in some work, busyness. Due to his busyness, he left the Buddha. Being a disciple, he got something, but he left for his work. He was unable to attain his higher spirituality, because Buddha, when there is no urge within the person, even the Buddha had preached Dhamma, it won't be effective. So this is what happens even for Savakas. Even at the presence of Buddha, sometimes we may lose our attainments by not involving ourselves in our practice with diligence. So the Savakasa example can be found in Karandaka Sutta. It happened to Pessa, who was taking care of elephants. So here also what Buddha was meaning, etamattam viditva, in this sutta also he found, when beings are busy, they are unable to do wholesome deeds. This would make them to lose the opportunity. Sometimes it may cause them to lose the opportunity for higher attainments. So even according to the teachings, the Pessa, it happened even at the presence of Buddha. There's nothing to say people being busy these days and losing the opportunity for higher attainments. So this is a dumb point I want to share based on this sutta.
Hi Bhante. May I have a question about Ajatasattu?
So since I have few minutes, so last time we discussed about the meanings of the na. Dr. Ryan asked me about the references also. Yes.
Yes, Bhante.
Okay, sure.
Yes, so I just, it is maybe a quick question.
Sure.
So so we know that Ajatasattu did not become an Arya because of the maybe we can say that is the near cause, which is the he committed patricide. Hello, I think we lost Bhante.
Hello.
Yeah, hi Bhante.
Something happened, right?
Yeah, I think we lost you. I mean, your connection.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, Bhante. So my question. Yeah.
About Ajahn. Yeah, just repeat the question.
Yeah. So so we know
Hello?
that he did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bhante, so we know that he did not become an Arya, and because the Buddha explained it, and then because of the near, we can say the near reason, the near cause, which because he committed the patricide. But
Yes.
I don't remember exactly, but I think I read somewhere, or maybe I heard from some in some Dhamma talk. It was mentioned that the the other reason is because of his aspiration, because he wanted to be a Pacceka Buddha. So that was the reason why he could not become an Arya in this life. Could you confirm that?
Yes. So this is mentioned in the commentary. For this, personally, I have explanation. I personally have explanation on this. But this is the commentary says after Ajatasattu left, the Buddha said this prophecy that he would be born as a Pacceka Buddha in the future. Before that, he said, because of meeting me, this Ajatasattu's vipaka of killing his father, who was also a noble, reduced greatly. Instead of being born in the great Avicii, he will be born in the hell called Loha Kumbi hell, which is like a boiling pot. So he goes down 30,000 years and he'll come up 30,000 years and he'll be released from it. And he gave the simile, it's like imagine a person having killed a being, killed a human, get caught to the king, he will get the capital punishment for sure. But for whatever reason, if the king says, instead of getting the capital punishment, if you have, I will enforce a fine on you that you have to collect some flowers which have been discarded in the city, collect them, and you should give to the office, you should give to the officials, then you will be free. So he said, if such thing happens in the human life, killing a human being, he will be fined, he will not be punished with the capital punishment. Instead, he will be asked to collect some thrown away flowers and offer it to the official. That will be the fine. So likewise, killing his father, he was supposed to go to the hell, Avicii, great hell. Instead, he was born in the Loha Kumbhi for 60,000 years, just for 60,000 years. So this is the simile, the comparison he gave. Then he said, in another, to my remember, in another 100,000 eons, he will be a Pacceka Buddha one day. So that is what the commentary is. And the commentary states that this was said by the Buddha, but for whatever reason, in the first council, the Mahatheras decided not to include this in the Digha Nikaya. So they kept it as a commentarial tradition instead of putting it into the Digha Nikaya. This was the explanation. I think this is what you have, the Mahathera has told.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what you find in the commentary.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. So personally, I feel like regarding the Pacceka Buddhas, as you raised the question, so why some beings are aspiring to become Pacceka Buddhas? The reason is they want to attain enlightenment quickly, because sometimes even Savaka's aspiration is quite shorter, the time period, but they have to always wait till a Buddha appears. So therefore, some beings consider Savakahood is like depending upon a Buddha, and appearance of a Buddha is very rare. Sometimes even we have fulfilled our paramis, we sometimes need to stay in the samsara as long as a Buddha appears, because for the all 4 Asankheyas and 100,000 years, only 28 Buddhas have appeared. And also a Savaka may lose the opportunity of attaining. For instance, if he has done patricides or matricide before the Buddha, near to the Buddha's birth, he may lose the opportunity. So likewise, there are great opportunity, ample of opportunities that a Savaka may lose meeting a Buddha. So even so the Pacceka Bodhisattvas, they think this is a great danger in the samsara. So we want to attain by ourselves. So whenever their parami is fulfilled, they would attain the Pacceka Buddhahood. So, and also we find in another explanation given by the Buddha, that actually it's recorded in the commentaries, that a person, it's a person who practices, recorded in the commentaries mentioning that it was a Buddha's word. According to the commentaries, mentioning that it was a Buddha's word. According to it, Buddha says a person who practices Gata Pacha Gata Vata, it's a very special practice, meditation practice, that you have to be mindful throughout the entire day, even while going to the village and coming back to the monastery. So a person who practices in such a diligent way would surely, most probably, attain arahanthood in his young age, middle age, even at the old age, or maybe even at the death moment, just before the death. And or if not, he will be attained after being born in the Deva world, listening to a Dhamma, he'll be able to attain. Then he mentions, unable to attain in this dispensation, he can be a person like a Sariputta or Moggallana, very intelligent arahant in a future sasana. And also, it is possible that he might be a Pacceka Buddha when the Buddha has not appeared. So, commenting on this, one Mahathera, Rerukane Chandavimala Mahathera, who was a well-renowned teacher in Sri Lanka, who studied in Burma, he says that some disciples who are unable to attain the arahanthood in this life, in a Buddha sasana, aspire to become a Pacceka Buddha one day. So when you look into the initial aspiration of a Pacceka Buddha, his intention is to attain as quick as possible, not waiting till a Buddha appears. So my personal view is a Pacceka Buddha Bodhisattva wants to attain somehow. It doesn't matter. He wants a quick deliverance. So he develops his qualities to a very higher level, so that if he become capable of attaining arahanthood at this Buddha's dispensation, I would consider he would just attain and finish his course. But if his paramis get fulfilled when the Buddha is not present, when a Buddha is not present, he would get enlightened in the he would get enlightened at the absence of a Buddha. That is personally what I feel, because if their intention is to get enlightened as quick as possible, they would not mind even whether they get enlightened under Buddha or if they get enlightened by themselves. So that's why, but the Buddhahood is quite different. The Buddha doesn't want to get enlightened under Buddha. He wants to get enlightened by himself, and he wants to spread the Dhamma like a Buddha does. So as the Pacceka Buddhas doesn't have such a desires even, I personally think if they get an opportunity to get enlightened, they would get enlightened and they would finish the course, because their initial intention is to get liberated as soon as possible. This is my personal idea, but as you said, it is mentioned that he would be a Pacceka Buddha in the future.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Bhante?
So yeah, yes.
Bhante, may I ask a little bit question, Bhante?
Yes.
Yes, Bhante. So it means that for the Pacceka Buddha, like it's not fixed that he can only become Pacceka Buddha, Bhante. So he can also become sort of like in the dispensation of Buddha, Bhante. For example, like Bodhisattva, Sammasambuddha Bodhisattva, he can only become Buddha like that. Can you hear me, Bhante?
that's my personal idea. I'm not saying that that's how I personally feel, because it's a become a Pacceka Buddha. Hello, I think
Yes,
off.
Bhante, I think your
Yeah.
connection is
Yeah,
poor.
sorry. Yeah. So what I personally feel is, because their intention is to enlighten somehow, therefore they would try to get the deliverance. So, but that's why that sutta explains in the commentaries. It says a person who doesn't attain in this life would wish and attain become a Pacceka Buddha in the future. So, but it doesn't say about a Bodhisattva practicing this and attaining a Buddhahood one day. Buddha, it is for himself, especially for the others, for the sake of others. If the deliverance attained by Arahant and the Pacceka Buddha is the same, and if the intention of the Pacceka Buddha is seeing the dreadfulness of being a Savaka, dependence of a Savaka, that you have to wait till a Buddha appears, even you have your parami is matured. So this shows that he is more eager to become a noble than a Savaka. So he wants to get it somehow. So in case if he meets a Buddha with his paramis have fulfilled, with his capacities are developed, I think his aspiration would support his nobility rather than prevent it, like it happens to a Samma Sambuddha. This is my this can be brought into argument with some other evidences. There are some evidences that some can argue on this matter. This is personally what I feel, because that's why a person who practices Gata Pacca Gata Vata could be a noble being like Sariputta, Moggallana, Bahya Daruchiriya, and also he may be a Pacceka Buddha. But it then never mentions that he may be a Samma Sambuddha. Because now a person who is practicing Gata Pacca Gata Vata is practicing to get enlightened as soon as possible. That was his intention. So such a being may attain an enlightenment at the young age, middle age, at the old age, just before the death, being a Deva, in Sansara, meeting a Buddha, he may become a great Savaka, like a very intelligent Savaka, or he may attain the Pacceka Buddhahood at the absence of the Buddha. And so if he is determined to become a Pacceka Buddha, like a Samma Sambuddha, this Gata Pacca Gata would be just a fulfillment of parami, just a fulfillment of parami. So it's because he has a different cause of attaining. So that's why in the list of the benefits of Gata Pacca Gata Vata, Buddha didn't mention about the Samma Sambuddhahood. Because to become a Samma Sambuddha, you have to have perfected lots of other things to become a Samma Sambuddha. So, but in that list, the benefit, Pacceka Buddhahood is a benefit. So that's why the Mahathera mentions sometimes it is clear that some people who couldn't attain enlightenment in this life are wishing for Pacceka Buddhahood in the samsara. So personally, I feel like, because when you compare the attributes of a Buddha and a Pacceka Buddha and a Savaka, I personally feel if a Pacceka Bodhisattva is given a chance, even he's aspiring to become a Pacceka Buddha, if he's given a chance to attain during a Buddha's dispensation, he would go for it. But a Samma Sambuddha Bodhisattva would never do it because he has a different aim. Pacceka Buddha has the same aim like a Savaka, to get enlightened and get liberated. That's why I come into this idea. Maybe it's just a personal idea. I'm not very not in a haste to say it's as it is.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you so much, Bhante.
So we'll call it a day because I have to attend the Dana. But I was going to, because last time Dr. Ryan asked about the reference for this Na. and 10 types of meanings of na. Instead of 6, there are another 4. So I was going to give the reference. Is it okay if I give it on Tuesday?
Yes,
I think
thank you, Bhante.
I'll give it on Tuesday, and it is found in the Saddhaneti Suttamala, Dr. Ryan. I'll give you with the references. There are another 4 more meanings.
I see. Okay, thank
It
you.
was not found in Niruddipani. As you said, Niruddipani also have 4 meanings, just 4 meanings. So I'll give it on Tuesday with all the references and examples.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you so much,
Shall we
Bhante.
call today? Okay, call today.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you for
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I think the Colombo connection is better.
Okay.
I agree.
So was it really bad?